Hey, I'm Ian Austin. I'm joined by my co-hosts William Toll and Haddon. We're Indie Roots, a team of independent artists and producers. We all are artists ourselves and make music, but we also produce for other people as a service. So if you would like your song produced by us, just email us at indierootsllc@gmail.com. Today we are talking about comparison as an artist. Is it good? Is it bad? Long answer, yes. It's it can be good.
Yes.
It can be bad. I'll just talk about what I think the bad side could be, and then you guys can maybe talk about the good side. And but whatever, you can talk about whatever you want. But the bad side is I've noticed if I'm constantly looking at related artists on Spotify and being like, how do my monthly listeners square up to them? Ooh, I'm at this guy's level because I'm at X amount of monthly listeners, or this guy's below me. I'm such a better artist than him. So if you find your worth in that kind of number, I think you could get really depressed because everyone that you value is higher than you, or you could get really prideful and being like, man, all these noobs at 500 monthly listeners, they're not good artists. I'm so much better. So it's like you don't want to find your worth in the numbers. There's plenty of examples of um kind of mediocre art being really popular and great art having low numbers. So it's just that's not necessarily an indicator of how good you are as an artist. And also art is so subjective, so it doesn't really make sense to like say, oh, objectively, I'm the best artist ever if you have the most monthly listeners. Because it's I don't know, it's just really subjective. Um at the end of the day, I think comparison in that way is unhealthy, but also in some ways it can be healthy, and you guys can maybe talk about that.
Yeah, one thing on the unhealthy piece, I think that you said it really well in terms of just like getting in your head and getting prideful or getting depressed based on who you're comparing yourself to. Uh, it's like you want to just be comparing yourself to yourself. I know that might sound a little cliche, like maybe you've heard or maybe you haven't heard the expression of, don't compare yourself to who someone else is. Um, just compare yourself to who you were yesterday. That's one way to look at it in terms of like always trying to improve and strive, and that's a healthy way to use comparison. But also, just find a standard for yourself of your goals, just personally. You don't not compared to somebody else. Like you don't. Nobody does this, and it sounds silly to say, but you're not going to make a goal to have more monthly listeners than X artist. You're not good. Like that's a silly thing to do. No one does
Mhm.
that. Like your goal is going to be like for me, make a living with your art. And so that does involve some numbers. So I'm going to be comparing myself to that standard and striving to get over that bar. Um, and so I think it's like a million streams a month is the basic thing. Um, but depending on how the songs get split, you might need more. So just whatever that means for you, if that's your goal, if your goal is to make a living as an artist via streams, then there are numbers that are associated with that goal that you will need to surpass. And just keep your focus on those. And yeah, as far as like what other people are doing, just it's I can look back at my trajectory as an artist, and everyone started somewhere, and so I had 0 monthly listeners at one point, and I had 10 monthly listeners and 200, and every time it goes up, you're like, oh, this is amazing. um and and so it I feel like it's okay, and maybe you guys will disagree, but like when you're comparing yourself to another artist, there is a place for that, I think, where it's like I used to look at this artist as somebody who like was on top of the world or made it or just like was living my dream or something. Because like when you have 200 monthly listeners or less, and you see somebody that has 40,000 monthly listeners, like I was looking at you, Ben. Um, your Haddon page, it was like 40,000 and I was at like 1,000. And I was like, this guy, like, I would do anything to have those numbers, like, and so, and now looking back, it's, that's an amazing milestone. It really is. And I think we laugh a little because like we've now all surpassed that number by a lot. And we're still working on the main goal of just like making a good living with streams. So but I'll just say like the milestones are like it's good to it's I think it's a healthy thing to just like be grateful, praise God for the small wins, and reflect on the journey and look back and be like, wow, like now I'm at 40,000 or 50, and it's like, yeah, it's crazy, like looking like when look at this other artist, I was like, I thought that they were the king of the world, and now I'm like right there with them, and I'm not the king of the world. Like stuff like that
Mhm.
can be a good process of reflection, I would say.
That is funny though. It's like you look at someone, because I had people like that too. I looked at and I was like, oh man, 40,000. It's like he's probably full time, right? From 40,000 monthly
Yeah.
listeners. It's like, man, I'm at like so much more than that, and it's still not full time. It's like
Yeah.
it's kind of funny.
Mhm. Yeah, I think it all comes like how where you're coming at it from. Um, if you're just comparing, like, so there's pride and humility. Um, and if you're comparing yourself and, like y'all were saying, comparing like self worth to, stats, numbers, like that's definitely a pride thing. But if you're coming at it from humility and looking at, wow, this is where I came from, I'm not worthy of this, like, or if you see someone who has more than you, and then you're able to see, okay, what strengths does this person have, like, and what weaknesses are in my art that I need to overcome, um, and using that as a way to just guide your path. I mean, that's great. Everyone's heard that thing that you're the average of the 5 people that you spend most time with. And I think that's the case because, you're able to help each other, of course, but also there's that friendly competition and friendly comparison. If one person sets the bar at this level, then everyone else knows that they can get there. And that's good. It's good to push each other. Like y'all both congratulated me several months ago, or maybe around this time last year when I was hit 80,000 listeners. I vividly remember you guys both being like, "Wow, that's amazing." And
Back when
and
we were
now,
like so low, probably.
yeah, like now
You were the man.
all of us are way past that. And I think it's because the bar setting has become higher. So you need to find a group where you are setting bars for one another and teaching one another, and
Well, it's actually that's an interesting point because if let's just say the number one top artist on Spotify was 80,000 monthly listeners, you would probably feel on top of the world at 80,000. But
yeah.
like when you actually know that the top person is like, I don't know who it is, like Ed Sheeran, he's got like 90 million. I mean,
Mhm.
it really puts in perspective. So it's really just relative. It's kind of like when we talk about like, what does it mean to be wealthy? Well, in America, it means a certain thing, but then compared to the whole world, I feel like it's like if you own a car, you're rich.
Mhm.
So it's just relative. And then I was gonna say one more thing. Uh, I think genre can make a difference in comparison. So if you make this really like specific kind of music, it's like, oh, I make lo-fi, Christian, dark, I don't know, like kind of like weird music. Maybe I'm sorry, lo-fi is not weird. I just think, but if you make this really like specific music, and then you're comparing yourself to Ed Sheeran, it's like, man, why am
Mm,
I not as much numbers as him? It's like, well, pop music is way more it's way more like it makes more sense to people than probably like lo-fi Christian music. I'm sorry, but um and so it's like it's just more broad. And
yeah.
but also more numbers doesn't necessarily mean you're a better artist. Maybe you're supposed to be a niche artist. Maybe you're supposed to make something that appeals to less people, but then there's certain people that are going to go crazy about it. And so you have to just decide, well, because I've thought about this for myself. Do I want to be like an A-list artist in the Christian realm where it's like have the um make the music that appeals to the most people? Actually, I don't. I would rather make like more niche music and then just have a deeper audience. And so that kind of changes my perspective on, oh, how well am I doing with my streams? Because then it's like, well, actually, I just want deep growth now. I don't necessarily want a trillion monthly listeners. It's just like, if I can just get some deep growth, I can make it with less monthly listeners. And that completely changes the game. Then you start looking at maybe like follower ratio. Where do my monthly listeners versus followers, or how many true fans do I have, rather than just like, oh, I've got 10 million monthly listeners and like they're all passive.
Point, yeah. Well, I guess we could stop there. Again, we are Indie Roots, a team of producers. We can produce your song if you want to reach out to us. Also, we can do some coaching services if that's more your thing. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment on the podcast and like the YouTube video and all that stuff. Really helps. But thanks for listening. We'll see you on the next one.